The TomTom iPhone car kit, I personally think it's an absolutely epic failure for the pricing. £99 is absolutely insane. But, it doesn't really matter what I think. It depends on what everyone in the community thinks. And I'm going to show you what I've personally seen a lot of forums, and the general gist that I get is, it's negative in a sense that people don't agree with the pricing points of the upcoming TomTom iPhone car kit, which is due to be released end of this month sometime. Again, as I said, it doesn't really matter what I think. It depends what the community thinks. And I used a piece of kit called, a piece of software, sorry, I should have said, called Social Radar. And what this does is it analyzes Web 2 content over a specific period of time, and it gives you an in-depth view of what the general gist is around that area. Now, traditionally, what you would have done is you would have gone out, send these emails, questionnaires, big long questionnaires, and I still get them to date from well-known companies like eBay and PayPal. And by the time you get to page 2, you sort of get sick and tired, and you just close it. I do it all the time. In fact, it just redirects to my junk mail, so I don't really even bother with them. But it's interesting because Web 2 changes the whole traditional marketing thing where you're not asking people to provide feedback. Feedback already exists on Web 2. You go on Twitter, you post a comment, saying TomTom iPhone car kit is expensive, and that's your view, and that's being recorded. TomTom's not asking you, they're not sending you physical external forms saying what do you think about it. You're doing it yourself, you're sharing what you think with the community. So that's how Web 2 has actually changed the whole traditional mindset, is probably the word I should have said. Social Radar, created by Infogee, and they've got over 2 billion and growing from, as you can see, current conversations or feeds. And the content is made up of YouTube, Twitter, blogs, and these forums, the V-Bulletin forums. And the software is primarily for organizations, brands, and PR agencies, and it comes at a cost. But courtesy of Social Radar, they actually provided it over a 2 or 3 month period to me for the purposes of my thesis, and I thought I'd give them something back. They really do deserve the feedback from this, because this tool is so powerful. So less time is spent on this. You don't want to be out there spending, going around in the city centre, as you probably see in Glasgow all the time, people coming up to you, filling questionnaires go back, someone analyses them. So much time is wasted. Web 2 has changed that. Social Radar, Infogee realised that. They've created this excellent piece of kit in my opinion, and I'm going to show you how it works. So I'm going to this is the screen that you're presented with once you log in, and I'm not going to go over everything in this video. Rest assured, I'm going to do a detailed review of the software in a different video, but this is the screen that you're presented with once you log in, and we want to go into analytics. In the query, you would put in what you want the software to analyze, and in this case I've already made this up, the TomTom iPhone car kit. If I was to put in TomTom on its own, it would analyze everything in relation to TomTom, even the standalone units you're getting, that you've been making for years. So to have a more precise view of it, I narrowed it down to the iPhone car kit, because that's inevitably what we want to look at. The from date, let's go to the 2nd of September. So it asks you what period you want to analyse the content in. So from the 2nd to the current date, and we shall analyse this. Again, I'm going to go over this page in a more detailed view in a later video. Now you're presented with a cloud view, that's what they say it is, and the idea is the larger the word is, the more it's being talked about. The greener the word is, the more positive it is. The more red it is, it's negative. And grey is where the system can't determine whether the conversation is positive or negative, so it puts it in a grey format. Now, it's interesting when you scroll down, and you see the overall sentiment and tone analysis of the TomTom iPhone car kit. 21% of us think that it's negative, and if I was TomTom, I would be seriously concerned of why it's 21%. And let's have a wee look. TomTom releases pricing for iPhone car kit. Surprise, surprise. And it's got a whole load of other things, as well as the car kit. Now let's go up and change the query in relation to the price point, which is £100 here in the UK. So what I've done is I've said, okay, look at TomTom iPhone car kit and then the price point of £100, and let's see how this works. You're in for a surprise. Most of you probably know what's going to happen here. So let's go down. 30% or 29% of us, the community, the customers, think that the price point of this car kit is wrong, and it's insane for TomTom for not realizing the power of the community, because that's what Web 2 is all about. It's about socializing, and it doesn't matter what TomTom think. Obviously TomTom have gone in there, they've said, okay, smartphone users, Apple's at the top, people who buy Apple products, they're willing to pay anything, and they've gone out with this insane price point, knowing that TomTom is the number one sat nav in the industry. There's no doubt about it. Apple joint forces, and then boom, £100, which is absolutely insane in my point. I would have not minded if the application was included in this price point. That would have been a good price point. But you can get the actual bloody standalone unit itself for less than £100, and for them to charge £100 just for the plastic thing that goes onto the windscreen is insane. And I hope if TomTom are looking at this, they can realise that they are going to head towards failure if they continue to go with this price point. I do hope they realise this and change it. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't change it, but anything can happen. But if they really care about the customers, if they really care about the community, if they really care about the brand, they will change the price point. Because at the moment, as it stands, 29% of the community, of the forums, of the blogs, of the Twitter, of the YouTube feedback, people are saying it's bad, and that is a huge figure in my point of view. And if I was TomTom's marketer or whatever, I would be seriously concerned. I would get those idiots around that table again and discuss the pricing of this. And you can go one step further. If TomTom really do want to look at, okay, where are these things generating? Where are these discussions happening? Put in this, choose 2nd of September. So what this would do is, this would say, okay, where are most of our discussions taking place? Is it YouTube? Is it Twitter? Is it forums? Where is it happening? So processing. So it's quite a detailed view. Again, I'm going to go into this in more detail at a later stage, but for solely the purposes of this video, I just want to give you a quick view of the TomTom iPhone car kit. So at the moment, microblogs is at Twitter at 24% chunk. Blogs, no brainer there. Forums is VBulletin. And unclassified, I'm not too sure what unclassified is. It's probably those categories where they haven't really, because it's a new section on their software. It's beta. There it is there. They haven't actually made any dedicated sections like they have for the forum, the blogs, the microblogs. So this is a very, very detailed view of where your customers are located, where your customers are posting their feedback on your product or your service. And I hope this video really gets to the the to the head of the TomTom guys, the senior guys, and I hope they do revise the prices, because I've bought the iPhone TomTom app. While it's not great, I do agree it's not great, and generally I've heard from the same other people, Navigo isn't great, Copilot isn't great, etc. etc. I do think these devices that you're bringing out will increase the usability of the actual application, more better signals and so on. So I don't think you should charge, extensive or insane prices, because we've already paid so much for the applications, and then to have a plastic thing, £100, that is a joke in my opinion. And that's not me saying it, it's what everyone's saying it. And if you're not going to listen to your customers, I hope you fall to your knees, as they say. Thanks for watching, and if you've used Social Radar, what do you think about it? Post your comments. Most of you probably wouldn't have used this. There are others in the market, Radian 6 and so on. You've got free applications which are really crap, because they've got so much limited content that they hold, limited analytical tools, and they're generally really useless in my opinion. You've got to use about 4 or 5 free applications to get even closer to the premium ones, which is Social Radar. So if you use this, do post your comments, and in the next few days I'll be doing a tutorial and different angles on the software, but just to get things kick started, I thought I would make this video up. Thanks for watching, cheers.